Hello, Braves coaches. Coach Ken Anderson coming in for Hardcore Braves. I got my man Andrew Davison on here. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, Ken. We're getting ready to start off a very fun series with the Milwaukee Brewers. How are you?
I'm doing good. Huge series. Before we get into that, big win yesterday against the White Sox. We did the hip coil last night, and Ryan was talking. I said, Ryan, you don't realize how. I said, everybody wants to talk about the Braves playing bad, and they get upset. And that's fine, but you got to move on. Braves are 4-6 in their last 10. Milwaukee Brewers are 5-5 in their last 10. The Milwaukee
Mm.
Brewers are the best team in baseball. What my point is that when your offense is not clicking, teams look worse. One thing's being missed on this Braves team is through their struggles, they're actually holding water a little bit. Now, look, the Phillies are red hot. Phillies are the hottest team in baseball, so they've gained ground. They're within 5 games. But yesterday, the pitchers absolutely shoved. I mean, Grant Holmes had a one hitter. Didier, Lee, and Iglesias pitched like they were pissed off at a fireman yesterday. Uh, Probably, maybe one of the biggest wins of the year, trying to get the stuff back on the bus. Didn't you think yesterday?
Oh, I completely agree. And I didn't watch any of the game, maybe besides the ninth inning. Um, but that was a big win yesterday. It's one of the most important of the season, and so you can use that momentum off a big win into this upcoming huge series, especially today as we face. We know who we're facing, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Here's the thing, chat. When your top three hitters are struggling, uh, top four hitters are struggling, your offense is going to be bad. And when your main guy is struggling, Matt Olson's having a bad road trip, and so the team is off. Ronnie's swinging the bat. But as bad as Ronnie has swung, he's had two big hits in this road trip so far. Yesterday it was Austin Riley and Mauricio Devon who had the big games, and luckily they hit back to back, and luckily they were able to salvage 2 runs and get a win. So big win. They go to Milwaukee. Milwaukee is 4 games up on the Braves for best record. Braves are 2 games back of the Dodgers. They get the Brewers and Dodgers back to back. Pretty much these next 6 games will tell the tale on whether the Braves can get a bye, most likely. Dodgers' September schedule is a more of a cupcake. Brewers a harder. Braves that's in the middle. Pretty big 6 game stretch coming up, Andrew. Um, this is probably going to make or break whether we get a buy or not, don't you think?
Absolutely. If we come in here and we show business, I think we can get that buy. If we come out and split or struggle, I don't think we're going to get a buy, and we may be fighting for the division.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, they own the division. The Phillies have the Cardinals at home this week, and Cardinals are very pesky. We'll see how they do. And then they go on their West Coast road trip. Not the hardest, but not the easiest. They get Seattle, and who's been playing terrible, by the way. But they do get the Diamondbacks at the end of it, and so we'll see how they do. So on to the series. Here are your pitching matchups. The Tonight's pitching matchup is maybe the best pitching matchup of the year. It's probably got Cy Young implications. If Chris Sale has any chance of running down Jacob Mizorowski, the night's the night. He gets a chance to throw. The whole country's going to be watching. Well, 4 o'clock afternoon game. Most of the country's going to be watching, but they'll see the highlights. Huge matchup tonight. Saturday, they're going to throw one of my favorite young pitchers, Logan Henderson. Logan Henderson is that quiet guy nobody talks about. I think he will be their number 2 starter in the playoffs because his repertoire really plays well in the postseason. Um, and then Sunday, we go to Williamsport. Got to get on a plane and fly to Pennsylvania. Fun game there. They're going to throw Drohan. He's the throw in in the Harrison deal from the Red Sox. He's been outstanding. Um, my bad. And who we throwing? I know Perez is probably going to throw, or Molly's going to throw. Is Elder going to go this weekend? I forgot to look. I know that had TBD. I don't know if they've announced yet. Andrew will look
I
it up. But overall, pitch.
believe it's Bryce Elder that's going to pitch Saturday.
Okay, so Bryce is going to go. He has the knee. That's going to be a great pitching matchup, and that means probably Perez will probably pitch Sunday.
Well, they still do list it as TBD, but
Yeah, I think it's just to see if Elder can get off and running. We'll
yeah,
see. You got to make another plane flight. I mean, they might just went ahead and let him go to Milwaukee. Be honest with you, so you have to get on the plane with inflammation. But either way, the Brewers are throwing three great pitchers. They have a great bullpen. What do you think about the pitching going into this series?
it should be fun. Runs will come at a premium this series for both offenses. This will be a really fun series. Two really good pitching teams. Um, Obviously, the highlight's going to be today, this afternoon, with the Miz and Sale. I got a question for you, Ken. If Sale goes out there and out pitches the Miz, do you think the odds shift in Chris's favor?
I think he evens them up. I think he gets them close, and it comes down to September. If he craps the bed at all, and crapping the bed could be like can't get into the sixth. He gets a lot of pitches. He gives up a couple of runs, and the Miz shuts for 6 innings. I think it's
It's over.
over. I think unless the Miz just unglues in September, he's more exciting to watch pitch as a young pitcher. He throws 104. I mean, so Sale, and that's a big start for Chris Sale. The Braves took 2 out of 3, and I remind everybody they were also playing bad offensively when they got them last time. They were playing bad offensively, and they're getting them again bad offensively. So it tells a lot about the team if they can go ahead and somehow win this series. It's going to be very difficult. I'm telling you guys, Logan Henderson in the middle, y'all don't pay attention. That kid can absolutely throw. He has got nasty stuff. His changeup is unhittable, and we had trouble with Bailey Ober's changeup. I mean, no, we keep bashing Bailey Ober, but the Bailey Ober's not a good pitcher. He's a mediocre pitcher, and so I can't imagine what Logan Henderson's going to be. Bullpen wise, it's kind of even. Both have really good bullpen. These are the two best pitching staffs in the National League. I mean,
I agree.
easily and these two pitching staffs can carry them to a world championship. Offensively, we're struggling. I mean, we're struggling, and one thing we said on the hip coil is this the kind of pitching staff can get the Braves right because they should not try to. I thought they tried to do too much against Bailey Ober and Zebby Matthews. I think they tried to hit the ball out of the ballpark. I think they tried to swing. They swung way terrible swing early in count. They can't afford to do that in this series. Maybe this is the kind of pitching staff to lock them in to go middle backside. You were a hitter. I was a hitter. Sometimes the better pitcher gets you locked in more than a guy that thinks a cupcake.
Really,
Correct?
it really does, and that's when I was struggling. That's what I did. I faced Chase Burns when I was in high school, and I was struggling, and I just didn't stride. I shortened up my swing and went the other way. Went 1 for 3 off of him. But here's the thing: what I've noticed, especially in that Twin series, is a lot of long swings. Drake Baldwin really to be number one there. They with the Miz going, a long swing you can't catch up to his fastball. We're going to be able to need to be short to the ball, and not trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. His fastball at 104 will provide us the power with our swings if we're short to the baseball. We just need to be worrying about hitting the ball in the gaps over the shortstop's head and moving runners over, and then the big hit comes that later in an inning, something like that. But that's how we're gonna win this series is going against a really big pitching staff with the Milwaukee Brewers. If we do that, we will succeed in this series.
Yeah, I mean it's the perfect pitching staff to get us healthy. Y'all can all brag on us, hardcore Braves. We've said it. This is absolutely the pitching staff that can get us right because we cannot take the swings we did, or we're going to get no hit. We get no hit in either of the 3 games. Harrison almost no hit us in Atlanta
You did.
because we have to be. Ozzy's swing against Alan Ashby to win the game on Sunday was perfect on a sinker away, 96-mile-an-hour sinker, hit it into the chop house. Those are the kind of swing. I hope they look at the video and swing that way. I think that in the series, having this kind of pitching staff might be coming at the right time. I thought it come at the right time before. We didn't. The worst thing that happened to us before is we went out west after the Milwaukee series, and the Padres is a shop of horrors. This time we get to go home, so hopefully they'll get it right. So let's look at their lineup. Lineup is funky. You get frustrated with the Braves lineup. They go in these funks. They are the exact same line. This is the lineup they are. They can be red hot. They're allowed to put 9 runs on you. They can be red cold and score 4 runs in a whole series. They are a funky team. And you say, well, they got the best record in baseball. It's because of their pitching. Their lineup is weird. Arguably their best hitter in the lineup. It's hard to say, but it's probably Jackson Churio when he's healthy. Christian Yelich is still very formidable at the plate. Little Will can flat out rake when he's zoned in. His whole thing's hitting the ball middle backside. When he's driving the ball to right field, he's tough. They got a lot of other little parts. They run very well. They run the bases very well. They're very smart. Their manager is one of the best managers of teaching small ball. They'll bunt on us a lot. We misplayed a bunt in Minnesota. That was a big play in the game that loaded the bases. What do you think about their lineup overall?
It's a good lineup. Like you said, it's kind of like they play like us. They're either red hot or they're not. They got a ton of talent there, but they're still pretty young out there with their lineup, and it'll be good. It'll be a good lineup for our pitching staff as we really get uh, ready for the big lineup the following 3 games after.
Sad part is their lineup is hot. The Mariners did nothing to slow them down. So they're going to come in very confident. What do you think about the game times? It's going to be interesting how they approach. Now, we called the White Sox to a T. We thought the White Sox coming off the Cubs series, nothing against taking away from what Grant did. We thought the White Sox may be a little flat. And if you remember, we looked pretty well. And then we had a day off going into the Diamondback series, and we looked flat. I think there's a possibility this might happen to the Brewers. You played a series, you look really good. You ever heard you've heard coaches say this, and some players, Andrew. A lot of times when you're going well at the plate, the worst thing can happen to you is the day off. Let's hope that happens with the Brewers. What do you think about the game times? 2 afternoon, then fly to Williamsport for a Sunday night game on ESPN. Kind of fluky. How do you think both teams are going to try to handle that?
It's kind of weird. I mean, I get it because you got to fly in the middle of the series to go play the final game somewhere else, and that's not going to be a short flight. That's a long flight
Yeah,
from Milwaukee to. My assumption is they're flying into Harrisburg,
probably.
um,
Bus it,
but
bus it
yeah,
to
and then you got to get on a bus, but I'm not really sure. I mean, I understand why they're playing a 4 o'clock game because they have a short turnaround on Sunday. It's just or a Saturday. It's just a really weird scheduling time, and the Braves have played 3 straight or 2 straight road day games. They should be ready and I guess ready for the day game, but it'll be tough because you're going on the road and you're facing arguably the best pitcher in baseball.
Andrew's point. The Braves' body clock should be way better than the Brewers. Now the Brewers can even that out by throwing a guy that throws I don't know throws 104. He will even all the body clocks out today if he feels good. 4 o'clock's a weird start. It's 3 o'clock their time. It's a weird starting time for anybody. There's hardly any ball game start at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Hardly any.
Yeah.
And so shadows will come into play too. It'll be interesting how the dome is, whether they have it open or closed or whatever. I kind of wish it was raining in Milwaukee so they'd have it closed, less shadows against Mizorowski, but we'll see how it is. Uh, all right. So I think overall, if these two teams were playing at their best ability, both these teams can get to the World Series. This would be a great playoff atmosphere. This is going to be a playoff atmosphere. Their games have been tight this year. They should be tight anytime they play each other. Great pitching, good managers, well coached. I think the Brewers fans will show up, and I think they will have good crowd. It won't be a sellout because 3 o'clock starts at a terrible time. They may have a sellout Saturday. I don't know, but they'll have big crowds. They sense this could be their first world championship in Milwaukee since back before the Braves won it in '57. So overall, atmosphere should be good. With that said, how do you see the series going?
Well, I'm always confident, but we're going on. This is on the road, and I think we will take one game out of this series, and Maybe we get some help from St. Louis, hopefully. But I think this is just going to be a tough. This has been a tough road trip for us, and I believe we're going to take one game.
I said that on the recap, Andrew, after we got sweat minutes. That's the worst thing could happen. If somehow we could find a way to go 2-2 over the next four, we can get out of the road trip thinking it's okay. Especially if the Cardinals can at least take one game from the Phillies, and I think they will. We'll be four up coming home, and I think when you go a 2-5 road trip and you're still four up, you can kind of breathe on Monday and get ready for the Dodgers. And remember, they're going out west. I also think they're going to take one out of three. It's hard to predict a team taking two out of three on the road from the best team in baseball when their offense is struggling. We had our first lead of the week yesterday. We had been trailing in every game. So that was it. And I think that was what 30 something innings before we led. So that's a long streak. So I'll go one out of three. Um, who do you think is the guy that can get hot in a series that it's going to be difficult to get hot in?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the same guy that hurt the Brewers and beat the Brewers on the first series. I'm going Mauricio Dubon. You thought I was going to go say Ozzy. I'm going Mauricio Dubon. He hit the Miz pretty well in that first game that we faced Jacob, and I think Mauricio is going to be. I like his short swing on the high velocity fastballs, and I think Mauricio will have a nice series.
Yeah, he had a good day yesterday against Anthony Kay, and Kay's ball tails away, and he was able to stay on it. So that's a good sign. Ryan took Ozzy, and I will go. I got a stinking feeling. This is the kind of guy to get Matt going again, and I think he'll stay middle backside. I think he watched video going to Milwaukee, and he will. He will. I thought his swings yesterday were a little short on the face. He didn't swing good on the off speed at all. I'm gonna go Matt Olson, and I told this to Ryan. If Matt Olson and Ozzy Albies do pick to click this weekend, Braves will take two out of three. If they go they
100%.
win they go. What are your thoughts on that? If Matt and Ozzy break out this weekend, the Braves can take two out of three from Milwaukee.
I say if they break out, they can sweep this series. If we get guys on base and those two right in the middle of the order are cleaning up with the bottom of the order on base, Ronald and Drake on base, and then other guys around them, I think we could sweep this series if they get going. I'm hoping Ozzy gets going because we need Ozzy the final month and a half of the season, and I really believe if those two get hot, we'll take two out of three, but we could sweep this series.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. You can throw Ronald in there. You can throw Michael Harris in there, Drake Baldwin. Anybody in the top starts to get going, it could be a good series. Again, the Brewers are red hot at the plate. We got them in a bad time. They were not red hot when they come to Atlanta, so it's going to be interesting. Big series. If they take two out of three, then they're going to be three back. Brewers have a very difficult September to play, navigate. And so because of that, a lot of Cubs. They got a lot of Cubs. They got a lot of. They play the Phillies. They just play a lot of difficult games. Reds give them fits. They get the Reds. Chase Burns probably a couple of times. So there's a chance we can catch them. We take two out of three. If they beat us two out of three or sweep, we're done. We're fighting the Phillies off to get the three seed. That we're done. I hate to announce that like that, but there's no way we can run down the Dodgers and Brewers if we're 5, 6 games back. We just
I
can't do it.
agree.
Yeah. So all right. Anything else you want to add before we get in going into the Brewers series that you think people need to look out for?
Um, Hopefully, if our starting pitchers can do what they've been doing, and we get a little bit of extra help from the offense, I think this will be a fun series. It's just a tough road trip, a lot of tough games. Atlanta hasn't had a lot of breaks since the All Star break, which they kind of need a day off. But go out and have some fun, boys. This will be a fun series. You're the more playoff experienced team out of the two of these. Go show some power and go show some experience.
Yeah, my final thought would be I think it's time to let Sean Murphy catch most of the game. I think Sean needs to catch most of the game. I'd give up his hitting. I don't think Dom Smith's going to give you anything. And I'd like Sean to catch and Drake Baldwin DA. I'd like to see the postseason lineup as much as possible. We kind of saw that yesterday. I think a postseason lineup is the way we need to go. As many times as Sean can get behind the plate. So that's my final thought. We get out of here. Love you, Braves country. And as always, peace.